If you spend hours on a video but struggle to get views, you could be making simple mistakes that we're going to fix today. Because there's a right way and a wrong way to upload your video to YouTube and certain steps that you can't afford to miss. So today I'm giving you a quick and simple upload process that I follow on every single video to give your content the best chance of getting more views. So let's jump straight into the first thing that will not only help your next video, but will help YouTube find the right audience for your whole channel. And the best thing is you only have to do it once and you're done. So in a new tab, head on over to the YouTube studio and open settings. Then select the channel tab and ensure that all of your channel keywords are filled in. This is going to tell YouTube what your channel is about and who it's for, which will help it push your content to the right audience. So many people don't even know that this exists, and especially early on, it can make a huge difference to your channel's performance and the amount of views that you get on each video. Now keep this tab open because there's something really important that we need to do here in a few minutes. So now you're ready to upload your video, but before you do, you need to have two things locked in: your title and your thumbnail. Now that might sound obvious, but a lot of people leave it as an afterthought. I know how hard it is to choose a title and a thumbnail that works, so I always use YouTube's built-in A/B testing on every single video. But you do need to use it carefully, otherwise it can actually hurt your video's performance. What you want to do is keep a close eye on those test results in the first 12 to 24 hours after you upload. The moment you see one of the titles outperforming the rest, finish the test and lock in the packaging that's outperforming the others. Because if you leave the A/B test running for too long, the weaker titles are going to drag down that video's average click-through rate, which is only going to hurt the video long term. So now that the title and the thumbnail are locked in, we're going to move on to the description. And this is something that I see so many creators get wrong, even people that have been on YouTube for years. But first, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Nexus Clips. Nexus Clips makes it easy to repurpose your long-form content into multiple shorts using AI. You just connect your channel, upload your video, and its advanced AI highlights the moments most likely to go viral. From there, it creates loads of clips that you can share across YouTube and other platforms. It even adds customizable subtitles, so your clips are ready to upload straight away. Nexus Clips can save you time and help you grow faster. So check out the link in my description and use the code JB for an exclusive 10% discount today. And thank you to Nexus Clips for sponsoring this video. So a good description will tell the viewer, but more importantly, tell YouTube exactly what your video is about. And you don't need to overthink this. You want 2 or 3 sentences that describe the video using keywords. And the easiest way to do this is using an AI tool like Claude or ChatGPT. Just upload the script to AI and use this prompt, which is something I do every single time. Give me a short, keyword-rich, SEO-optimized description for this video script. It takes about 5 seconds and it's going to give you something much better than most people can write. And your description shows up in YouTube search results, so it's really important that you get it right. Next, we're going to talk about hashtags, which is something you should think about, but it's not something you should really stress over. Because despite what a lot of people might tell you, they're not actually that important. I do use 3 to 5 hashtags, one of which being my channel name, but honestly, anyone who tells you that these are going to make or break your video's performance are lying to you. YouTube hasn't relied on hashtags for years, and they're nowhere near as important as the other things that I'm going to show you today. So add them, but don't spend too much time on it and don't overthink it. Next, you're going to want to make sure that you add your video to a playlist before you hit publish. But why does it matter? Well, it's simple. Playlists will make it easy for viewers to binge your content. They also show up in search results, not only just on YouTube, but in Google as well, which are going to give your videos a much higher chance of being found. Now this next setting, most people are going to turn off and leave off for every video. Unless you make content for children, you need to make sure that made for kids is unselected. Otherwise, YouTube is just going to show your video to children. And yes, I've made this mistake myself, so it's always worth checking. Next up is chapter markers, and this is something that can genuinely expand your video's reach beyond YouTube. Because when you add chapters, they can appear directly in Google search results. So if somebody types in a question to Google that matches one of your chapters, Google can take them straight to that part of your video, which is obviously amazing for your channel's reach. And that's free traffic that some people are just leaving on the table. But here's the thing, you need to write them yourself. YouTube's automatic chapters are terrible. They generate chapter titles that mean nothing to Google or your viewer. So how do you add chapters manually to your video? Well, it's simple. You can add chapters really easily by adding the word chapters, then following that with the timestamps just like you can see here. Just make sure you always start with 0 for the intro, and YouTube will know exactly what you're doing. When you're finished, you'll see the chapters in the video play bar, but they'll also be clickable from the description. Now, some people worry that giving people the ability to skim through your video is a bad thing, but you need to think about it this way. Somebody they can click to the part of the video that they actually actually need is far more likely to stay and watch that section of the video than somebody that gets frustrated trying to find what they're looking for and leaves. Now let's quickly talk about something that everyone wants to know about. Video tags. And I say quickly because you really shouldn't waste too much time on these. But why? Well, tags are completely different to hashtags. They're only visible to YouTube and they've existed since the old days, and they used to be there to help YouTube understand what your video is about. But in 2026, well, tags are nowhere near as important as they used to be. YouTube has come a long way, and they've even said themselves that they rely far less on them than they used to the point where some people don't even bother adding them and they still get thousands of views. The fact is that YouTube knows exactly what your video is about the minute it finishes processing. So if anyone tells you that getting your tags perfect is going to transform your channel, they're just selling you a quick fix and false hope. But if you are going to use them, well, you might as well use them properly. Instead of just spamming keywords, you should instead use alternate titles or search terms for the video's topic. Ask yourself, what would somebody type into YouTube if they were trying to find your video? And that's it. Don't overthink it, don't stress about them, and don't spend more than a couple of minutes on them. The next setting can actually make a huge difference to your video's early performance, so listen up. When your video goes live, YouTube is going to test it with a small initial audience first and see how it performs. And you always want that to be your subscribers first, because they're already invested in your content and they're far more likely to watch it and engage. So make sure that Publish to Subscribers is selected before we move on to the category section, which is your chance to tell YouTube what your content's about and who it's for. So take 5 seconds to make sure that it's relevant to your video and your channel. And here's a time-saving tip that most people don't know about. Remember that settings tab that we kept open earlier? Head back there, click on upload defaults, and you can add anything that you want in your description every time you upload. And this will save you having to write the same thing every single video. So for me, I always want the link to my coaching offer and my newsletter in my descriptions, as well as a couple of tags that I use. And the best thing is you've only got to set it up once. You're then going to want to go back to the upload window and make sure that comments are turned on, because engagement is a massive signal to the algorithm, and leaving this off, which is a mistake that I've seen, is seriously going to hurt your video. And a lot of people turn on moderation to avoid bad comments, but in my experience, I've seen YouTube hide genuine comments from people, so I always turn moderation off. The way I see it, if somebody's going to leave a bad comment, then let them. It's just free engagement on your video. But of course, if you do want to delete the comment, then you're always free to do that later. So the next thing that we're going to focus on is the most heavily underutilized feature of the upload process, and it's a real shame, because if you get this right, your videos are going to work together as a team to keep people watching your channel, which YouTube is going to love and reward you with more impressions. And it all starts with how you end your video. But how? Well, unfortunately, far too many people leave loads of views on the table by simply ending their video with something like, "Thanks for watching." And I used to do it too, until I realized there's a much better way. Because the end of your video should actually be the beginning of your next one. When you set up a problem that your next video solves, people don't just leave. They click straight into another one of your videos, and that is how your channel builds momentum. But don't just pick a random video. Pick your best performing one. Be intentional about it, because if that video has already done well, every viewer that you send to it is just going to make it stronger. YouTube's going to notice and start pushing it again. I always select one single video for my end screen and I work it into my script. I then guide the viewer onto that end screen, and by doing so, I've been able to generate consistent views on those videos week after week. Now, you might be wondering about cards, those little links that pop up in the middle of the video, which I don't use at all, and for a very good reason. If somebody's watching my video, why on earth do I want them to leave and ruin my average view duration? I'd rather keep them watching the video and let the end screen do its job like I just showed you. I'd not bother with cards at all, and instead I'd focus on keeping people watching to the end. Right, so now you're ready to publish a video, but you're hit with a few different options that people still spend far too long worrying about. You'll even see entire videos where people talk about private versus unlisted and all sorts of strategies that just waste your time. I do the same thing every time I upload a video, and I have done ever since I started this channel. The same thing that I did for all of these videos that got thousands of views within the first couple of days after upload, because there is no trick. Once your video is uploaded and it's finished processing, it's ready to go live. But there are a couple of things that you do need to consider. You want to check when your audience audience is most likely to be active, so that when you do hit publish, your subscribers are going to be around to watch and engage with the video, which is a huge signal to the algorithm. And it's for that reason I always schedule my videos ahead of time, giving YouTube plenty of opportunity to process my video, know what it's about, and push it to the right people. And let's be really clear, setting your video to unlisted or private and then flicking it to public a couple of days later does absolutely nothing. And anyone that tells you otherwise is just trying to give you false hope or get views for their own nonsense advice video. So once your video's live, most people make the mistake of sitting back and thinking that the work's done. They just hope for the best, but this is the most important time for your video's performance. And there are certain things that you need to do after you upload to maximize your results. First, you need to be around just as the video goes live so that you can leave a pinned comment for engagement. You can ask your viewers a question or something that sparks discussion, because the algorithm loves early engagement on a video just as it's being tested. And unfortunately, you can't leave a pinned comment until the video's gone live. Next, you want to spend time replying to every single comment for the same reason, and continue to do that for the first couple of hours after you've uploaded. Personally, I still respond to every single comment on my videos, even the ones with thousands of views, because YouTube is all about you, the viewer, and taking time to engage with my audience not only builds trust, but shows people that I actually value their time, making them far more likely to come back. So if you follow this process every time you upload a video, you're going to have the best chance of that video doing well. And eventually the process becomes a habit that you barely have to think about. But there are simple mistakes I still see people making after they've uploaded their video, which you need to avoid. So to help you avoid those mistakes, in this next video, I reveal 9 things that you should never do after you upload to YouTube. So watch that next, and I'll see you over there.